What's going on, everyone? It is Paul, the 920 Trader with 920 Trading and Trading Decoded. Today is Wednesday, August 14th, 2024, and this is how we trade spot today. But before we get going, folks, if you like our videos, please go ahead and give us a like and a subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you can be notified when we drop new content, which is just about every day, sometimes on the weekends. Also, leave us a comment. We greatly appreciate those. And don't forget to share with your friends, neighbors, family, and your trading community, folks. So we will always appreciate that. Okay, so folks, right out of the gate this morning, what we're going to do is, or today, what we're going to do is we're going to look at pre-market high. So we got 543.54. We got pre-market low at 541. Now we had basically we had inflation reports that came out today. They weren't really good. They weren't really bad. It was a little bit better than expected. It's about again, a little bit better than expected. Market, yeah, kind of see, what happened with the market. There we go, kind of giving away that first play over here. But again, that came out right in here. So you can see this big run to the upside, big run to the downside on that one candle. If you're playing futures, and you caught that candle either way, you probably did very, very well. But again, so we've got $2.54 from the bottom to the top. We can work with $2.54, folks, all day long, every single day, folks. If we just channel between those two price points, we can do that. Okay, let's get going, folks. Let's get going right out of the gate this morning. We had our nice little cross back over to the downside, folks. So we tried to test this upper limit. Now, this line right here, I don't want to be accused of having too many lines on my chart. But this line right here, 543.02, we had this same level on there yesterday, folks. This was a level we were trying to get to yesterday. This is a massive, massive, massive supply zone. So it's a 30-minute supply zone. We're trying to get to that supply zone, reject out of that supply zone, pick up more sellers in that area to bring it back down, okay? In other words, they're defending that position right there. Everything below that, every short position below that level was still in good shape as long as it stayed below that level. So there is incentive. And again, I'm speaking as though algorithms do not run whatever it is we're trading, in this case SPY or SPX. Algorithms run it, but still we have to be able to understand the why. And again, they're defending positions at that level. That's why we use technical analysis, folks. If we didn't use technical analysis, we'd be throwing crap on the wall and calling it artwork. And we don't do that, folks. We're not gamblers. We are the casino. Okay. Anyway, double cross it. I probably should have taken this candle right here at the close of the 932. Would have been a much better, and I can look back on it and say, well, I should have, would have, could have done that. But, we got a breach. Got a breach of the VWAP back to the downside, took the trade on the close of the 930, and then almost immediately it started, running away from me. But again, I was looking for pre-market low, and you can look at this play, folks. You can look and see how not beautiful this was on the 1 minute. I mean, the first few minutes I was in this trade, obviously upside down, but I'm not watching my P&L. If you watch your P&L while you're in the middle of a trade, particularly a winning trade, you're going to punch out too early the vast, vast majority of the time. But anyway, I trusted it to not back down, but I trusted it to get down to pre-market low. So we rode it and we had this, push down, pull back. So it's basically rally base back to the downside multiple times. We tested the 20 so many times. We tested the 20. We tested it here. We tested basically all the way down until we finally got that really, really, really nice red candle back to the downside. Now let's look at this on a 5-minute chart. So here it is on the 5-minute chart, folks. So took the position right in here, and everything stayed below the 9. Now, these are ugly candles even on the 5-minute. But when you go back to the 1 minute, you can see just how not handsome this play was. So let me see. So we're in 33 we're in this about 38 minutes, somewhere right around in there. When you're in a trade for 38 minutes or even longer and it's going like this, you have to be okay with whatever the outcome is. And I was trusting the 20 here, folks. I just trusted it. Every now and again, I check. I'd look at the 2 minute chart, kind of see what that 2 minute looked like. I'm going to go back to the 1 minute because that is just ugly, right there. That was ugly. But anyway, I trusted this level to take me down to this pre-market, even with the pullbacks. If you're not used to holding onto your trades through these little pullbacks or even trusting the 20, it's difficult to do that when you first start trying to hold those trades. But again, I had an objective. The pre-market low was my objective. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll either go get the pre-market high, which is right around here. It would have been easier actually, 543.54. But in this case, we just had that sell off down to that pre-market. Closed the trade immediately when we got to that level because I said, hey, that is my level that I'm looking at right there. Now I took this back to the upside and I thought we were going to get a nice little push. So what I thought was going to happen, and it didn't, obviously, because you can see the crazy face here, and then the close of the trade right in here when I started seeing a little bit of volume pour through. Nice little fishtail, and I think the POC was right around here at that time. I don't remember specifically, but again, push to the upside. Yes, it was a winning trade, and it was a decent winning trade. Well, then we got 60 through 9. We got 36 cents, which is it's a decent little winning trade. But, and again, I thought we were going to take out pre-market low and then immediately go get pre-market high. But folks, that didn't happen. It didn't happen. So, closed out the trade in here and then immediately I couldn't, just switch to guns immediately. I had to kind of get my bearings about me. But I did do something that I don't do very often, folks. Probably the smarter play, looking back on it, the smarter play would have been, okay, take the fishtail and then take it back to the downside. But again, we took out pre-market low. I thought we could take out pre-market high at that time. So on this trade, I saw the volume pouring in and I took a mid candle and we punched to this level. Now, there's something very, very interesting about this level. And people will argue with me about this very thing, about and as soon as we got down to this level, I went and did my stretches. So I missed this and you can see what it did. It took out pre-market high. A lot of people will look at this chart, and you might be one of them, and you will say, oh my gosh, it's making a lower low. Do not take calls. And I ask the question, why? There has to be a very, very specific reason to take calls at this level. And there was a very, very specific reason, and I will show that to you right in here. So this level, where are we? You see this shelf right in here. So this is the shelf right at this level. So it's essentially, I think I was calling out 540.26 right in here. So I tell you what, I'm going to put a line on the screen at that level right there, 540.26, 28 right in here. And again, I was looking at the 30-minute and I said, folks, if we can breach this level back to the downside, then we've got all of this thin volume. Look at just how thin this volume is down here. Now, if on the other hand, look left, look at all this push up. I don't have a strong double bottom on the 30, but what I do have is I have that volume shelf right there. So that volume shelf is just as good as any support or resistance out there, folks. It's a major, major level. Had we got a nice strong close below that level, you see it right there, then guess what? Then we keep on pushing down. But again, I told the group, I said, folks, if we keep on pushing down, we got a lot of thin volume here, but we didn't do it. So I said, folks, okay, and again, I didn't take the trade. I missed this entire trade back to the upside because I told the people, I said, the folks in my group, I said, folks, I like that area. If we bounce out of that area, if we get into this fishtail, consider taking calls. And at that point, I had to go stretch. I stretch every day just about at this time for about 9 or 10 minutes. So I missed my entry. Had a couple other entries. You could have taken a trade, once we breached VWAP back to the upside. And some of our members did. But this was about a $4 run back to the upside. And again, it made a lower low, but who cares? It doesn't matter if it makes a lower low. If it makes a lower low into a demand zone, who cares? Take the trade out of the demand zone. If it makes a higher high into a supply zone, who cares? Puts are not off the table. You get into that supply zone, and guess what? It's a supply zone for a reason. It comes back down. So again, the whole higher high, lower low, who cares? It doesn't matter. As long as you get into a demand zone. If you're going into a demand zone, number one, take your trade off the table. And number two, take the trade in the other direction. I missed this trade. I just absolutely missed it. By this point, it'd been decent. This was a long trade, had a loser in here. Don't care. Decent moves. But again, this would have been a really, really nice move from a technical standpoint. Had I had that line at that shelf, which I didn't have that line on that shelf. I could have said, okay, well, let's take this, because our stop at that point would have been 25 cents if we took this first candle, and then you just ride that thing into oblivion if you have the stomach. And it took quite a long time. So we got 10:35 to 11, over an hour, folks, couple hours. And again, pre-market high, kind of bounced around, and then it just kept on going and going and going, folks. Ultimately, this would have been our target, 545.05, because again, this is another supply zone up there. But again, missed this. And then in here, I went to lunch. So I did my stretching here. I went to lunch in here. So I missed all of this. And it came back and it crossed to the upside. I didn't take anything up here. I thought, well, let's see if we can pick up more buyers. And a losing trade in here. Yeah, we pushed up to this level. I thought we were going to push a little bit higher. Could have very easily taken it off the table, but a nice little losing trade down here. That was it as far as my trades for the rest of the day, and I will show you why. It really doesn't. I guess it doesn't matter why, because this area right in here, it didn't do a whole lot. It was just pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. It finally got decent around this time, getting late in the day. And this is only, so we got 42.87. This is $1 between this area and this area. And look at all these pullbacks right in here, folks. Now, 350 today. What did 350 do today, folks? It was, let's see, I'm thinking, oh, that's not 350. 350, that's 250. Yeah, but you can see how it was just a grinder. It was just an absolute grinder up here. Didn't take anything. This is kind of a sucker play right here, in my opinion. A big fat candle like this, lots of volume pouring in, it ran back down to this specific level. Yeah, you can scalp that. Cross to the downside. Last play of the day coming up right in here, folks. Last play of the day. So we got a double cross through this level right here. And again, I didn't trust any of these moves in here, only because we had a lot of garbage in here. So again, double cross to the upside above that level, 543.02. And then it did push up. It was really, really nice. So here's that 350 candle right here, folks. It was a nice, beautiful red candle on the 350 that if you played this, a red candle back to the downside, again, you have support right on the 9. You lost money. Oh, it's red. It's 350. It's going to continue. No. Generally speaking, 350 and 3 out of 5 days are really, really good. But generally speaking, it continues on the path that it was normally going. And again, my edge didn't present itself. So the result of my edge not presenting itself meant that I'm not putting on the trade. I don't want to gamble. I just late in the day, contracts are cheap, but I don't want to gamble. I want to be the casino. I want to stack the probabilities in my favor. And sometimes, on that gamble, you're going to do very, very well. Other times you're going to get smashed. I would just assume not. I don't want to get smashed. I just want to follow my rules, and I want to maintain my discipline. There was some question on this play right here whether I was actually following my plan, and I was. I was looking at this level over in here to breach to the upside. Yeah, we kind of struggled over here, but we picked up more buyers down here. That's what caused me to take this trade. So remembering back, because it happens all the time, we push up. We don't really make a whole lot of headway, and then we push down a little bit further, find more buyers, and then push it back up. But again, I thought we were going to get a push through that pre-market high and make it up and do some really, really good things up there. Unfortunately, it did not do that at that time. But that's how she played out today. Overall, CPI day, there was some really, really nice moves, folks. This move was this was a textbook move. I missed it. Nevertheless, it was still a textbook move. Hated to miss it, but again, I stretched and then I went to lunch. So I missed everything, and that's okay, folks. That's absolutely okay. I'll catch it tomorrow. How's that? Now, tomorrow, what do we have coming out tomorrow? Let me take a look here real quick because I know we've got a couple of red folder events coming out. We have retail sales. So we have core retail sales month over month, retail sales month over month, and unemployment claims all coming out tomorrow morning at 8:30 Eastern time. And all of those are red folder events. So remember, folks, on red folder events, we have three different colors. We have yellow, which yellow doesn't really move the market that much. It can, if it's a Fed speak or something like that, it can move the market. Then we have an orange folder event. Orange folder has the ability to move the market. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And then we have the red folder event. So that red folder event, those are the ones that typically really, really move the market. But again, we're getting that pre-market tomorrow morning. So let's just kind of see what happens, folks. See what happens with those and see what we can do. Now, there will be no video tomorrow. I will be out of town tomorrow afternoon, so no video tomorrow afternoon. But anyway, that's how she played out today. Overall, again, I think it was a really, really good day. Other than for a couple hours, 12:47. Let's call it 2 hours, 2.5 hours in here. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. One thing that I kind of look back at this trade and I go, why did I do this? Is because it was later than I normally like to take the trades. So that was probably the only downside to taking that, although I thought we were going to push a little bit higher. A little bit later than I like to take the trades. Generally an hour and a half, 2 hours into the trading day, I like to be done. And then if there's anything left at power hour, so the last hour of the day, sometimes in power hour, sometimes that last 10 or 15 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Again, if my edge is there, I'll take the trade. But anyway, overall, a decent day today, folks. So if you like our videos, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. That way you can be notified when we drop new content, which is just about every day. Sometimes on the weekends. Tomorrow, it's not going to happen, folks. Also, leave us a comment. We greatly appreciate those. And share. We appreciate all the sharing, folks. Friends, neighbors, relatives, trading community, whoever. Just share. We always appreciate that, folks. Now, if you are interested in live daily trading where we talk about every single one of these trades, whether I'm in these trades or not, folks, we talk about every single one of these trades, okay? And potentially what we're looking at in these trades, okay? So we talk about these trades all day long. If you're interested in that, head on over to Trading Decoded. It's our live trading Discord. The link for that is down below. If you like it, great. If you don't, hey, that's not a problem. We think you're going to like it. But if you don't, that's fine. We're going to give you that first week for free, folks. So that first week for free, again, Trading Decoded, first week is free. Now, if you're interested in the 920 crossover strategy, head on over to 920trading.com. So at 920trading.com, all of the information is there. The entire 920 strategy is there. Some of the nuances are there. Some of those nuances you'll have to pick up over time. There's just not enough bandwidth, enough time, enough space to talk about every single one of the nuances. And hey, let's face it, folks, we're all trying to get just a marginally better every day. I know I am. My goal today was to get a little bit better than I was yesterday. My goal tomorrow is going to be trying to get a little bit better than I was yesterday, which is today. So that should be the goal. The second you stop learning, the second you think that you have arrived as a trader, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get smacked in the gizzard, folks, and you don't want to get smacked in the gizzard. Be humble. I don't care what level of trader you are. Be humble and always be eager to learn and be hungry to learn. But anyway, folks, that's how she played out today. So thank you for spending a little bit of your time with us. We greatly appreciate it. We realize, and I realize that that time is the most precious commodity you have, folks. We are all on limited time. We don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, hope everybody has a great rest of the day. We're going to do this again tomorrow. No, we're not. We're going to trade tomorrow, but no update video tomorrow. So I hope everybody has a great rest of the day today. And we will see you in the markets.